I recall, you had started writing the melody in the car while waiting for me one day at the studio.
Right, that's right. You were running late. We had scheduled a writing session, and for those of you who are watching this and aren't from Macon, Georgia, there is a little the studio is located on 3rd Street, and there's a little median park out past the front door, and so I just parked my carcass underneath a big tree and was riding down there. I got several odd looks from people driving by.
Oh, well, that had nothing to do with you writing.
It may have been this T-shirt. I'm actually wearing the same T-shirt. It's called "Life is Full of Important Choices."
No.
Yeah.
Really?
And on the back, see here, buddy?
Yeah, what's it
It has a bunch of keyboards.
Oh.
Like a B3 and a grand piano.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
A Rhodes and
if only I look good in T-shirts, I'd wear them more.
One of my favorite shirts.
That's cool, man. The B section and got it done that day, and then that's why it's named Windows Down, I guess, because you were thinking about sitting in the park and chilling.
And convertibles. Several convertibles rode by that day with their windows down.
I do love
and their tops down.
And the tops down.
So actually, but top down sounded a little bit too risque.
So it does. So it does.
What's that noise?
Boom! That's crazy. Okay.
That was odd.
That was odd.
That was really.
Some of the percussion is also coming from some stuff you dreamed up as well. On the keyboard.
From my Roland RD700 and from the built-in instruments and sample tank, and from my Studio One DAW from Presonus. Highly recommended.
And very, very reasonably
priced.
Hi,
Presonus.
Well. Yeah, we'd like some free stuff. But we were playing around with the pads and stuff, and I was listening to all the great percussion Tom had come up with, and I was like, well, let's just leave this. And then I said, well, Miguel's here. He was recording something one day. I said, he's here. Let's have him give it a shot on take 5 and see what happens, see how it sounds.
Give 5.
Yeah, sorry, give 5, yes. Copyrighted. Take 5 is Dave Brubeck. So anyway, we're sitting there, and Miguel just brought a whole new level to the piece.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
And you know, I was pretty proud of what I come up with.
Yeah, I was too.
And all that. But then Miguel comes in, and this is why, okay, all you keyboard players out there, this is why you hire a real drummer.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, Dr. Reddick.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was just so, what I come up with pretty cool. But what
good.
Miguel did, if I was, was here, I mean, his was like up at the ceiling, it's off camera. It was just amazing.
And so then I was like, well, he did such an amazing job there. Let's bring him in on Windows Down too.
And that's one of the things that was fun about this one is as we were recording it was you were doodling around with that and I said, wait a minute, don't forget that. And then we found the place where it did and went with it. It was really cool.
It worked out well, and this song has a very nice melody, and it's real easy to walk around humming. So I think you'll enjoy it. It's a very sort of, I'd say, smooth jazz. I would say maybe kind of Rippingtons.
Okay, since you said the word smooth, my music appreciation class is now laughing.
Why?
Because I banned the use of the word smooth.
What?
Well, yeah, because they said, I'll ask them, they'll talk about a piece of music as part of the class, and they'll go, yeah, I like this one because it's smooth. Which means nothing.
But it is technically a genre.
Well, this is true. But still.
Yeah,
but they're laughing now.
Well, aren't you? The only thing that's good smooth is peanut butter.
So, no, crunchy.
Well, I like them both. Depends on what they're on. So yeah, but it's a nice. It is sort of a Rippingtons kind. When you say Rippingtons kind of, would that be a good?
Yeah.
Without
it's good hammock music.
Good hammock. There.
Yes.
That say no more.
We can guarantee, however, that the chart will not look like this, because this is the rough draft.
Oh, good.
So I have a...
Is that handwritten?
I have a doctor's handwriting. Actually, I do not have illegible handwriting. I have my own font. If you have seen any of the other episodes, you know we are not normal.
No, not at all.
So, however, the music is really good.
Yes.
And today we are mixing Give 5, which is...
Which we've often alluded to.
Yes, and it's an oblique reference to Dave Brubeck's Take 5.
Yeah. And what year did that come out, Tom?
59.
That's what I thought too.
On the Time Out album.
Time Out, that's right. So Give 5, yeah, we said, well, he took 5, so we'll give 5. Because we like give and take, and it's better to give than receive, unless it's the lottery.
How biblical of you.
Oh, very biblical, yeah. But this one has a a lot of magic from Tom on piano, but it also had a lot of percussion that Tom came up with as well. And no disrespect to anyone, but usually keyboard players aren't that great at percussion. But Tom did some amazing stuff, and I was totally content with it and thought, well, we'll just keep it. This is fine. And then Miguel was in here. Miguel, not from Cuba Castro, was in here.
No relation to the dictator.
None whatsoever, or at least none that he'll admit to. He was in here doing something else, and I was like, well, let's just let him see what he can do with it. I thought we probably won't use it, but we'll give it a shot. What he did just transformed the whole thing.
It was awesome.
It's amazing,
really was.
And I think you'll really enjoy it.
That's once again a reason to hire a real drummer on your projects.
Do you have written on the
You're
chart?
welcome, Dr. Reddick.
Yeah.
Would you like me to summarize that in fewer words?
Sure.
It's wicked cool. Better?
Well, no. I like my way. Dude, where's
One
my
of those
car?
little happy accidents that happen when you're mixing is like, oh, let's try this.
Yeah, and it worked.
Oh,
Now, the other person we should probably mention...
Dr. Flutalicious.
Dr. Flutalicious, or also known as Monty Cole, Dr. Monty Cole over at Mercer, Director of Jazz Studies. He gave us, I would say, the full Monty, wouldn't you? Not literally.
I declined to respond.
What I mean by the full Monty is he gave us everything he had.
He did. That he did.
Yeah.
That he did.
He played well. So
Flute-related people.
Flute
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Exactly. So,
do you remember how it started?
What, the melody?
No, the song.
Oh, yes, I do. It started off with an ostinato part, right?
Bum, 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 bum. And I jotted it down, and it was in 5, so that just started it from there and came up with a groove. And actually, I wrote down...
What did you write down?
Well, the groove. Ba, 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 ba. And this is actually the sheet from our writing session.
Is that your original scratch pad?
Yeah, that's my original
cool.
scratch pad.
Neat.
So, a little bit of history here. We will sell this for $1.5 million.
Oh,
so make the check out to
$1.25 million. Let's be reasonable. Run towards the line. Oh, that won't work for me. Anyway, go ahead. You were saying.
I wasn't actually.
So you said ostinato.
Ostinato, yeah. So I mean, just the fact that it started with an ostinato and then the melody kind of flowed. Well, the ostinato gave us the groove, and the groove gave us the melody. It's kind of backwards.
That's true. And again,
So
there's also a bar of 6 we'd like you to find.
Yeah, we dare you.
We dare you, absolutely. Double dog.
Because we designed it deliberately so that it's not, bam, slap you upside the head. Hey, I'm in 6.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel that way when you're listening. When you're playing to it, it does.
Yeah, because you got to go, okay, where is it? Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm figuring, some people not.
It's just like my cousin owns the Stuckey stores. So it's the same name.
Yeah.
We get a lot of pecan logs for Christmas, which is a good thing.
That's just nuts. And on that note...
What measure do you be on time? R32.
31.
You ready? Yeah. Here it comes. 3.
was with wire ties on the cymbal. That was cool. That was the cricket. With block.
That was great.
With wire ties. That's cool.
Trying to see which one should be the ticket.
It's a little loose.
Too loose. Let's see that egg. Big egg.
Yeah. We've got a couple small ones over there. Yeah, oh, I love doing that stuff.
With when we put at the end
the range stick
and the notes, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So
we have all the plastic ones down there too. We are doing the mix down for Joey's new album, Mixture.
Yes, which we co-wrote all the songs.
And it's been, what, a year and a half now?
We've been working on this thing. Has it been that long?
It has been a year and a half.
Okay, if you say it, I believe it.
Maybe 2 years.
If you say it, I believe it.
So we decided we were going to mix it, and I brought the coffee, and I got this coffee, and we're just going to get it done today.
Here's the problem with this.
What?
We're actually scheduled to work on it for about 2 months.
Oh.
Yeah, we're doing like every week.
Oh, I guess I don't need the coffee can then.
I just throw it.
Okay.
I really wanted all the songs on the record to be co-written by us. I didn't want to have one thing that wasn't a total joint effort. And I had the what we call the A section, I guess.
Yeah, you had this little.
I had the A section of this song written already, and I just sort of played it one day in between students on my piano. And I originally was thinking of it as a piano piece, really, even though that's not certainly my strength. But so I just had and I said, look, tell you what, I'm going to send you this MIDI file. Come up with I had a B section, but it was not what I wanted, and it wasn't complete. It just sort of ambled off into the few arts, and so it just sort of like, I'm out of ideas. And so I was like, Tom, here, figure out the B section, and let's come up with an arrangement and see what you think. So that became actually the last track we wrote together.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
You know, that's so true. And I think there is some sort of universal truth that we should take from that. What it is, I'm not sure. But I bet that's in there somewhere. So this is today we're doing Too Pooped to Bop. Tom came up with that title, as I recall.
Because I was desperate for audio.
He was desperate, yes. He had written 2 songs previous to the time we decided, hey, let's get together and start writing. And we made it a weekly commitment that we tried to keep. Didn't always work. And this was the first jazz song that we did together. But anyway, it's a great title, I think. And I also want to say, this to me is your best piano solo ever. I love it. I mean, it sounds like McCoy Tyner or Oscar Peterson or some of the late 50s, early 60s improvisational work of like Dave Brubeck. So, I mean, it has that world-class, awesome piano solo feel. I mean, I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's true. I mean,
I'm a huge Brubeck
awesome
fan. And
that's good.
Tyner and all that kind of stuff. So
and Oscar Peterson,
never went away as much as Oscar Peterson, but I'd like to play like him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't? I mean, if I could play like him, I would just be like, hey, I'm the coolest guy in the world.
Well, you already say that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But not in public.
Oh. Yeah. This one was cool because, first we had been talking about writing together for a couple of years, and then we just decided, it's not going to happen until we just schedule it. So we did, and we had no idea coming in what we were going to write or anything. And
or what we were going to do with it once we'd written it.
Well, that's just true. And so Joey says, I got this idea. And so we started bouncing back and forth. And, the writing sessions are a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
You can kind of tell from these videos that we'll bounce ideas off of each other. And we'll veer off and just into pun land. And it's awesome. When Jennifer, Joey's wife, is here in the studio, she makes sure all the doors are closed because she didn't want to listen to us.
No, she doesn't. And of course, this, as most of these songs do, there's just three of us. There's me and Tom and Miguel Castro.
Not from Cuba.
Not from Cuba.
No relation to the dictator.
But he is from the Dominican Republic, where they charge you a $10 exit fee.
You mentioned that earlier.
I know, that's funny.
Well, it is.
What's really funny is that Miguel thinks that Dominican money looks better than American money. So if we ever are out playing gigs, he'll hang a Dominican bill over the tip jar. Wait for it.
I think the poltergeist is here.
I hate that.
What's that voice?
I don't hear anything, but I only listen to my own voice.
You're just jealous because the voices in my head only talk to me.
That's true. I do feel a little jealous about that.
Yeah. So anyway, this is...
I got an ice pick that will fix that problem.
Just smack in the middle of it. My wife came in, and in 45 minutes laid down 8 tracks. It was pretty cool.
And they're really beautifully done tracks. There's 4-part harmony. Stacked, which in musical terms, stacking is when you sing the same exact part, multiple times. So,
am I going to have to summarize this again for our audience?
Yes.
It's wicked cool.
Use your big words.
Why should I use large words when using diminutive ones would do?
I really like that a lot.
Now, did we do the solo or we went traded fours? Did we do that live? I can't remember.
I
think we did.
Yes, I had to think about that.
Yeah,
yeah, we did. Yeah,
because that's a B3 and from
that's my plugin. That's my core plugin.
That's right. From Native Instruments
right.
core.
The core B was a B4 they call it.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's called the B4.
Hey, core, we want some free stuff for saying your name.
Hey, core, hi.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
Anyway, never use that voice again.
Why? You know what we should do is we should sing the Hee Haw song with that. It's good stuff.
Gloom, despair, agony. Anyway,
this sort of fusion-y thing is really kind of what I've developed over the years. So this particular type of soloing is not anything that requires any thought on my part. As far it's just kind of what I do.
But only because you've put in a lot of work. Hey, music students, pay attention.
Yeah.
Put in a lot of work. You know your scales. You know your instrument inside and out. And so it's just become a natural part of your thinking process.
Right.
You don't have to think about, what the next note is. You just automatically know.
Well, the goal is
to
train.
Takes a lot of practice.
It does. You train your hands. My thought is this. The practice is to train your mind and your hands so that they get out of the way and they can do their things without you having to focus on it, and then you just make room for the spirit of music.
Yeah. 911?
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a crazy man in the studio.
There's a crazy man in the studio. Which one of us is the crazy one?
Well, I looked at this guy, and it looked like he had hair to me. I thought, I heard he didn't have hair, so I just assumed the CD had made that magic happen.
All right.
You see?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch, indeed. And we actually, let's see, if I remember how it went correctly, you said, pick a key. And okay, and we picked it, and then you said, okay, I'm going to improvise some chord changes. And okay. And so
that's right.
Yeah, and so I came up with a little. You played through the chord changes a few times. I came up with a little melody, and then I remember I got a little stuck after that, and we said, well, it needs to go somewhere else, but it's not. So you came up with a very nice little B section. This song reminds me a little bit. The B section, anyway, reminds me a little bit of the Yellow Jackets. Whereas
I can see that.
Yeah, and whereas the A section, I would say was more of a I don't know, Lee Ritenour, Pat Metheny kind of feel.
Yet another reason we named the album Mixture.
Exactly, yeah. And Mark Williams came in and played congas and shakers on this. And Rainstick.
The fabulous Mark Williams.
Yes. Not much to look at, but, that's all right. I don't know. Of course, his wife's pretty lady, so he must be okay.
Either that or she has poor taste.
No.
Sorry, Mark. No.
The whole album is Mixture, and the reason it's called Mixture is for a lot of reasons. There's a blending of styles. There's a blending of genres. There's a blending of different instruments. Say something like, like Oscar Wilde would say. You remember what he said when he
2 wrongs do not make a right, but 3 left turns do.
That's pretty good.
So,
because, by the way, some of these songs have been known to heal baldness. So,
you're going to get the FDA on us, aren't you? You're just determined to get the FDA on us.
I just want to meet them.
Okay.
And see if I can't convince them to change their name to something else. I'm little Joey Stuckey, sexy as Elvis with half the fat, and Tom Rule is here, but you can't see him because I'm blind. That's how it's going to be. Fair is fair.
I don't think fair. I don't think that worked last week.
Well, it may not have, but it's still fair.
I guess I ought to get on camera.
Well, come on over.
Okay.
You can't make the shot look any worse. You should actually show off your T-shirt there.
Yes, I should.
You should model
being
that.
Patriotic. This is Joey's from the So Far album.
Yeah, that's back 2003.
Yeah.
You remember that?
So, www.joeystuckey.com.
Do you remember back that far?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes. However, I have slept since then.
And this is kind of an interesting point that I wanted to share also. A lot of, most of these songs you're going to hear, there's only 2 or 3 people performing. There is Tom playing all the keyboard parts, of course, and all the auxiliary things you can do with keyboards, like cello lines and things like that. And then he did a lot of drum programming as well. And usually on these records, I do all the drum programming, and I think I've only done drum programming on 1 song out of 10. And we decided to blend that in with some live drums. And on this track, there's some very sparse drum programming, which is really nice stereo. And then we had Dr. Marcus Reddick come in and play some hand drums and then play drum set. It's because there's a part in the song that really kicks up. And of course, I play all the guitar parts. And then the other thing I was going to say, though, is that I'd like people to listen for is that neat thing you did with the breathing.
Yeah, that was actually, and the other thing that's interesting about this one, whereas Rain was all recorded here,
right?
This one started. We wrote it in the studio here and came and basically sketched it out, and I did the chart, and then I took it home to the home studio, and I was goofing around with my new Cascade Figure 8 ribbon mic, and it was just goofing around with it and thought, okay, this sounds kind of cool. And that's actually the breathing thing you'll hear on it. It's going to pan left and right. That is one take.
One take, yeah. And it has, if you listen carefully, I mean, it has some very human things. You can hear lip smack here or there. And,
and breathing.
Yeah, but I really like it. I mean, I really like it. I mean, it's a neat sound. It's a little ear candy for you. But most of these songs have started with Tom doing the skeleton at his what he calls the outhouse.
The outhouse.
Yeah.
It's also known as the house out back. So no plumbing, but I have air conditioning and a phone out there.
But this is a really cool song. I think it reminds me of a little bit of Mannheim Steamroller, little bit Acoustic Alchemy with the lead melody. I think this is something you could hear, except for the part in the middle. This is something you could probably hear like a Hearts of Space, even though it is jazz.
Yeah, it is kind of jazz. Definitely not traditional jazz. Definitely modern. And then we got the whole rock and roll thing going on at the end, which is epic.
It's very, very cool, and I won't spend too much more time talking about it. But
and
you're one of those nerds, aren't you, Tom?
Yes, I am.
All right,
I am.
You have a card? Do you carry a card? Are you a card-carrying member of the Nerd Club?
No, but I have a credit card.
You have a tattoo?
No.
Okay.
Definitely.
Anyway.
Oh, well, I'm not a huge Beatles fan.
Oh my! What?
Really?
That's like heresy to me. just...
I mean, I like Yellow Submarine, even though it's about drugs.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, the movie or the music?
No, the movie was made by druggies, I think.
Yeah, well, the movie... I don't like the movie because it's I never liked it, but I love the music. There is nothing wrong with marrying a one-legged model.
There's nothing wrong with driving a Model T, either.
Yeah.
Or drinking sweet tea.
Did you say Cheryl Teague? What?
No, Model T.
Oh. I had known Dr. Marcus Reddick for a while, done some recording projects with him, but had never had a chance to work with him on any of my things. So this song was the first chance that I got to work with Marcus on percussion. And he just nailed it. Just was amazing.
You're welcome, Marcus.
Yeah, $50, please. But I thought, I really want some real vibes and somebody to play them. And so Marcus, being, doctor of percussion, he also played vibes. So he came in and played vibes and did an amazing job on that as well. So it really features him a lot. The last thing that I remember about this song that I think is very, very cool, we actually had enough time that Tom laid down and I laid down my guitar parts and his keyboard parts. And then Tom kind of intended it as a demo.
Yeah.
And kind of forgot that he'd even done it.
I did.
And I decided it was good enough to actually finish and put it on a CD.
Well, we wrote it, and because I got it marked down here, July of 2010. So that's what I'm saying. It had been 7 months. No wonder I forgot.
Yeah, and so I play it for Tom, and he knew it was our song. That. He knew, he said, "Oh, who's that playing piano?"
And he laughed at me.
I was
said,
like,
"It's you idiot."
I mean,
This is a very extraordinarily cool hat, by the way.
Oh, this is actually it's your hat.
Which is why I think it's extraordinarily cool. It's a genuine.
Not genuine.
Genuine Indiana Jones hat.
Now, explain to me how it's genuine.
Well, because it has a logo.
Where?
In there. See?
No. What's that say?
It says Indiana Jones, authentic hat. Keeps the variety up. It's a mixture of stuff.
It is a mixture. And next time we do an album, we're going to use, I'm thinking like all didgeridoos. You know what I mean? Actually, we'll just do that. And then maybe how's some dogs howling in the background. That's what my dad sings. Poor fella.
Well,
love you, Dad.
And remember, the scores will be available online. Subscribe to the newsletter. Subscribe to the podcast and the vidcast, vodcast, whatever they call it.
I think it is vodcast.
Whatever.
Hey, Tom. Like if I do this, can people still see me?
Parts of you, yes.
Because if I feel like I should be invisible when I do this.
This is number 4. I can't believe such language in public.
Guten Tag. Yeah. My Liebchen is what I would normally say, but you're not a chick. At least not to my knowledge.
Obvious. I am, however,
I
a
am
player.
Blind. So, you are a player. That's right.
Yes.
It's on your shirt.
Schroeder says.
It's even on your shirt.
And I am equipped with my enchanted biker cap today.
Excellent. Yes. So, when he wears this, he plays better. I don't know what the deal is.
And that's a Muppets Wizard of Oz reference.
Which is a fantastic film if you haven't seen it.
And we decided last week, we kind of rambled a bit, so we brought notes this time.
Yes. Now let me see.
That's
you see that one? Handwriting.
Well, yeah.
You look like you're like a left-handed person.
I have a doctor's handwriting without the matching income.
And so we did the acoustic guitar, and then we did, of course, Miguel Castro came back to play some more magic percussion.
Not related to the dictator.
Nope, Miguel not from Cuba Castro. He's from Dominican, where they charge you $10 to leave. Now, what do you have on your notes?
I have a whole cup of coffee. I had a student last week mention that he watched episode 2 or 3. Hi, Jonathan. He's a guitar major. Actually, I'll be playing a gig with him tonight.
Good.
And he said that we were funny. So I wanted to, on camera, in front of God and YouTube and everybody, say, Jonathan, would you mind contacting our wives and tell them that? Because they don't believe it. No, it's sad.
They don't. Sorry, Pam. Actually, we won't talk about it now. We'll leave it for the next time. But Pam actually makes a cameo on one of these songs.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Really excited about that. It's one of these things where it's a total surprise. You're trucking along and all of a sudden, bam, it's like, oh, cool.
And it really worked out well.
That's one of the things that we try to do with this album. There's a lot of ear candy if you listen to it. You're trucking along, it's kind of, laid back melody in this one, and then all of a sudden there's that one thing that we're hoping your ears will perk up and go, what? Wait a minute. Rewind.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool because you may hear the song 3 or 4 times before you notice some of it.
Yeah.
And that keeps it fresh and keeps it interesting for you, hopefully.
Especially, lately, this is, we're recording this in February 2012, and
yes.
Today's high is like 70 degrees. It feels like spring outside.
It's the craziest weather ever.
It's Macon's bipolar weather.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah. Two things I want to mention about Tom. One, he's doing his Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters impression. On
I really didn't think about that. When I liked the sound and all that kind of stuff, and it just kind of happened that way. But you're right.
But and even melodically, it's a little
Herbie-ish.
Yeah, it is, and I like it a lot, and it's really very very cool, and.
I really enjoyed the sound. I liked it when we wrote it.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting in here in the studio and just bouncing ideas back and forth, and then I took it back to the outhouse.
And we were really bouncing like this.
Yeah, we really were, because this is a bouncy chair.
Oh, it is, and not only that, we have a bouncy castle in the room.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Back there, you just can't see it. It's off camera.
And exactly. There's secret.
Jennifer, get off of the thing.
Yeah, really.
I also like the Take 6 samples. This is
Let's talk about that. Yes.
A Roland RD700 SX. That's my primary axe. Has been for a couple of 3 years that I really love. But Roland had put in Take 6 samples where the harder you press it, the different samples kick in. And so I was goofing around with it in the studio.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let's see if I can do something with this. And it really worked out well.
It sounds very cool. It's of course a structured part, not a solo.
But I do that because it's totally unexpected.
You do
not expect that. You're playing around piano, and all of a sudden, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Holy Crisco, Batman.
Yeah. Whoa. Scary. In the wrong hands, that could be a dangerous thing.
Yes, this is true.
Again, we're joined. Most of these songs are just Tom. Actually, Tom's doing a lot of the lion's share of the playing because there's a lot of keyboard pads, and he also is playing the bass parts as well. And so Tom is mostly Tom and me, and then we usually just bring in one other person to take care of percussion. And so, of course, this song once again features Miguel, not from Cuba Castro.
No relation to the dictator.
At least not that we know of. Sorry, Miguel. Anyway,
no, we're not.
No, we're not. Yeah, but this is a great tune. We hope you'll enjoy it. The snare drum part is really quite cool.
Oh, tasty.
Yeah,
man.
And he also has a very cool thing near the end where he's playing some stuff with the toms. I think it's during one of our solos. I don't know if it's mine or yours. I've forgotten. But there's some really neat tom work. So for those of you that are percussion enthusiasts, this is something that you definitely want to pay attention to.
And that's really what we, as musicians, are trying to do with this album, is you come up with something that is accessible, that yet has a depth to it, and that will withstand repeated listenings. And every time you listen to it, you go, oh, that's cool, and you'll hear something different.
Yes, so, that's that. And that's ear candy. And that's the thing. We want it to be, the record to be fun on many different levels, because if you make a record that's just interesting for musicians, that has some interesting melodic phrasing or some unusual time signatures or some complicated riffs, I mean, that's all fine and well. Musicians will dig it, but you're not going to sell a lot of records that way. I mean, you need to make it something that people can sing along to. They can whistle while they're working out, or whatever. There's something they can remember that's interesting. So I think that's a great way to say it's accessible. Yeah. And at the same time, as you explore the record, hopefully 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 12 or 200 times later, you'll find a little something you didn't notice before.
Well, that's why I named my last album Accessible Depth. Same kind of thing I was trying to do. So
which is a great record, by the way. Oh, and it's there's a cool cover on it as well.
Yeah, it is pretty
we'll talk about that on Tom's video.
If I do say so myself. Anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of a mistake, wasn't it?
I took a printer error and made something out of it.
There you go. That's amazing. See, this is Tom's whole life.
It's called desperate, for an idea.
Hey, I got 10 minutes to make a cover. Just kidding.